Oh, right. We have a Black Forest strategy for you today. And it is a little bit of a weird one. So we are going to do the Berber villagers as militia rush into Lithuanian scouts. That's right. This is a 2v2, and immediately once the first two houses have been constructed, the house that was constructed by the two villagers is sent forward. We get loom relatively early on after getting one or two villagers, just because we don't want to be running into the opponent's scout. This is a way to keep this area open, which is very, very important to us. And you can see that we are running around to try and lame whatever we can lame as quickly as we can possibly lame it. Now, the one downside is on Black Forest that they're probably going to be able to get their sheep relatively quickly. But on the other hand, it's going to be relatively easy for us to lame the boars when we can. Whew. Once you have your 6 villagers at home collecting food, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be sending additional villagers forward, and you're going to send them forward to create a lumber camp. Now you do this to A, keep this passageway open, and B, to eventually get enough wood to TC drop your opponent as we are laming this boar and we are laming these berries. The Goth player in this particular situation is already not a very, very happy camper. To make matters worse, Pedro over here in the blue is going to be going for Lithuanian scouts as soon as he hits feudal. He's going to have a very fast feudal time due to the fact that Lithuanians start with an additional 150 food. A loomed villager can actually fight off a scout, and I misclicked. Definitely wanted to construct this wall and not collect berries, but I guess he's going to have a total of free food less than those berries, so huzzah! This is another reason why you send these villagers forward, not just to stop the wall off from occurring, but if you get yourself into a predicament, you can pull villagers from over here to help out. So we're going to try and get that scout the best we can get him. Oh, the scout is really the only big issue, and it is so hard to kill Berber villagers and walk, go back home. And now she will actually outspeed this guy, and there's no threat from him ever catching up to her as long as that scout is not present. Meanwhile, we are also laming these ibexes over here, and stuff is just getting super messy. Oh, and we hadn't completed these palisade walls over here. Well, that's cool. We're just gonna come back over and help out with that. Red is starting to wall off over here, but we're not too concerned about this side being walled off. This is quite a long tube, and we didn't want Pedro to go all the way forward and wall off over here so then that he could get through. No, the idea of this is that Pedro can actually go the long way around. He could go through my base, and then he could go through this small little tunnel, and we actually spotted that villager as well. So now we're just gonna fight him to death. He was going to be the hunter, but then he became the prey. Get whatever kills you possibly can, and now these two can go back to work. So we're already up an additional villager. Let's take the total number here, 15 to 14. So we're up one villager. Maybe we didn't produce the entire time. Probably the reason being that we are just so busy with doing additional things. I don't think we even killed all of these ibexes over here. No, we actually missed some of them. I think we were gonna go for that boar, but then that boar got lured by yellow already. So you know what? Lame absolutely everything. Why not? Why not? It's actually going to be very, very important that we start laming this lumber camp, and the reason it's important to lame this lumber camp is so that new farms and repairs on the TC cannot come in. Meanwhile, Pedro, just like planned, is the first person to feudal age, and he's going to have scouts over here ASAP, making it really, really, really annoying for yellow to deal with. Something quite interesting and something quite odd happens in this game. Oh, run. Once again, I can just outspeed these guys, so even though he wants to go to gold, that's not going to be happening. This is really a devilish strat. And oh, look at this little wall off over here. It has double wall offs going on this side. And Red's thinking, I can just boom for ever. Meanwhile, Yellow is sneaking. He wants to get additional food, so he's sneaking back here to go towards my berries, I guess? Like, I did not know that this was happening at all, and why would I? I mean, I thought he was going to go for this main road over here, but I hadn't even considered the little back road. Pedro, meanwhile, has the scouts over here. We are being really, really annoying on this wood line. I'm pretty sure I told Pedro about this wood line, but he didn't quite go there, so that's quite annoying. And question mark is completely... Yeah, I even signaled the wood line to Pedro. Pedro's like, I didn't know that there was any wood over there. I had no idea. And I also signaled that there is a villager over here for the sniping. So we're going to snipe that to the best of our ability. Even bringing our own scout in. Red has his scout over here. And we are housed. Of course, we are housed. Meanwhile, Yellow is taking berries where I'm taking berries as well. We're just hanging out. We are just chilling. And then I'm like, wait, who's building what? Why is there a TC over? Oh, F. I don't think I've even realized it at this point. No, I haven't. I said, Pedro, why are you taking berries next to me? That doesn't make any sense. And now we're actually in... Yeah, I'm like, oh! Well, that's going up. So we're just going to garrison over here. We have a total of 8 villagers, and he has a total of 9 villagers. So we should have a pretty good chance here to Vil fight this down. He's garrisoning, I'm garrisoning. He's not going to be able to produce additional villagers because he doesn't have wood. And Red went for a super duper greedy boom. So just passing is Pedro, but he's going to realize that pretty quickly. Look how many boars there are over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boars. Pedro, are you going to turn around at any point and hit those? I guess he's going to try and hit the wood line over here. My goodness, we're just TC fighting over here. That's the thing, I guess, that you do. Meanwhile, oh, getting wolfed over here. Woo, woo, woo. Pedro is coming back now to try and get these... villagers. Yeah, he's gonna get 1. Yellow has villagers over here as well. My goodness, is this super duper messy. So this is exactly what we wanted to happen. We did not want there to be a long drawn out game. We wanted to end it right here, right now. And Red just lost so many villagers in that encounter. Pedro said he only got like 3 or something in that nature, but that looks like a lot more than 3 if you ask me. Also, Yellow is losing tons and tons of vills over here. Dad, come. Meanwhile, we're still TC fighting over here, but we have 7 on wood, so we feel like we can keep this TC fight going for quite a long period of time. It's really unfortunate that we didn't pick up on this area down below here, because we could have stopped Yellow so much faster if we had just sniped those over here. Now Pedro is going to go forward, but of course spearmen are going to be produced. I'm like, oh, I'm still TC fighting over here. You could come over here, and then once the CC goes down, we can just clean up everything from Yellow. I wonder if Yellow is even able... No, he's not even able to produce additional villagers. We made it to feudal in the meantime, and I think we even... Yeah, we're even like grabbing the boar here whenever we can. Making sure that we can keep producing vills and basically keep up with Red if we need to. Running around, trying to snipe some vills off of the berries, but not quite going to happen. I just tell him, come back, just come over here, we'll kill Yellow, and then we'll deal with Red together. Sure enough, we are running out of food over here, so we're going to do something funny over here. I figured, you know what, I can probably lure one of these boars over here. Meanwhile, this is just going back and forth, 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 back and forth. Yeah, he has a TC over here, Pedro. I told him that, and he just... This guy, he just doesn't listen. Does not listen. Can we get this pig? I know pig. I guess I didn't realize that I was going to get that pig. Or maybe I got that pig a little bit later on. Meanwhile, we can't really get in here. I'm even doing some scout maneuvers over here to try and keep that TC occupied. And all additional villagers, because I have over 10 at this point, are collecting wood as well. I'm just trying to make this as inefficient as I possibly can make it. Pedro's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, I think at this point I decide that, you know what, I probably have enough wood. So you know what, why don't we take... Oh, he's like, can you help me? Can you help me? I'm like, I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better. I'll help you out. I'll get this get this boar over here. I'll bring in this boar. That was super greedy from Red, by the way, going for these 5 boars over here. I mean, it would have been really nice if he got all 5 of those boars, but he paid the ultimate price by losing 5 or 6 villagers in that regard. And now at this point, it doesn't look like Yellow can repair his TC anymore, and that's looking like bad news bears all over the place. Pedro's still trying to find some damage, but that's going to be very hard against... Ooh, he can probably get some on the wood line, I think. Yeah. Or just passing. Okay, cool, cool, cool. He has a ton of scouts as well. I said, just come back. Just come over here. And you... That's definitely closed off. Pedro? What are you doing? I'm like, come on. It's going to go down. Just come over. Just come over. He's like, oh, go the super long way around, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, sure, dude. Sure. And now we're just going to Vil fight this. And he does have 1 or 2 scouts over here. And he can't keep this up anymore. So we're just going to fight to the best of our ability. And we're also going to try and debate him into the TC fire. And now, it was so funny that he actually, because my idea was to drop him with a TC. And he actually just came over to me and was like, no, I'll TC drop you. And at this point, Yellow is definitely, yeah, he's GG. And Red's going to be having a really tough time dealing with all of these additional scouts. And 2 of us who are so relatively strong. I mean, my villager numbers are 35. Pedro's is 36. And Red is 35 as well. So we're all kind of at the same stage, except for Yellow, who is way behind. Obviously, I still have to get the food for an age up. But yeah, this is the keep it open strategy so that you can scout harass. And honestly, people in Black Forest don't expect to be harassed at all. They think that they can just sit back and boom. So it was really funny to punish the predisposition that people have for Black Forest. It was quite a weird one for me, because I don't really like playing Black Forest, but at the same time, I'm hoping that people come up with more interesting stuff on Black Forest. And with that, I want to say to you guys, thank you so much. Look at those KDs, 19-5, 19-5, 3-1, woo! Thanks for walking. I really, really do appreciate all of the support that you guys give me. The key is really to continue producing villagers. I don't know why DE does this, but these are actually flipped. If you don't produce villagers, then you're going to fall behind, and you want to snipe wherever you can from your opponent. That is the Berber villager rush with Lithuanian scouts behind. Poop Lord out!